Welcome, everybody, to the Journeymen Lounge Podcast.
You better be praying to God because, you're 14 and losses in a row. You're going to need Jesus.
Am I wrong?
I thought you were pretty wrong, yeah.
The Journeymen Lounge Podcast is here for a big momentous occasion, okay? We have the 50th episode, which I will say there's a couple of the episodes in there that might not feel like an episode, like we did our draft day episode.
No, we'll count it.
It's
though.
for sure counted. But more importantly, guys, football is back.
So happy.
I think we're all on the same page of fuck yeah. I mean, it's already been a great opening week. We're doing this on Thursday now, and gonna be coming to you kind of around that. I vow to get all the episodes out the next morning or day so that people know what the fuck is going on. But let's just go around the room here because our main... actually, before we do that, sorry. Before we get into football, let's do the non-football items real quick. Let's just burn through those.
We'll burn through those, yeah.
Ryan and I played around yesterday.
Yeah.
White Pines. Ryan, tell them how you did, man.
I had my best round I've ever played in my life. Yeah. Shot 92.
Woo, okay.
Could have shot like an 85, honestly, I feel like, or like an 88, somewhere in there.
Get after it. I'm so excited, man. Good work.
Yeah. Got a one birdie at least.
Got a chirp.
Maybe like four pars. I don't know. Something like that. And then
Respectable.
only,
Look at this guy.
Only 2 sevens and then one fuck up on a par 3. I got a 6 on a par 3.
Ooh, those hurt.
So, and then there's a couple ones that like rimmed out that could have been pars or could have been.
So just a missed putter.
So honestly, yeah, it was like 92 was as good as it was. Could have been even better. I only lost to him by 3 strokes. It was crazy.
Yeah, shot at 89. But I think the best part of the fucking day was just simply when we were driving, hitting shots and all that stuff. I mean, pretty often, like 80% of the time, we're hitting our drives like within 10 to 15 yards of each other. So like on the fairways, I think like
I go this way, you go that way.
I think easily we probably hit out of like 12 or how many is that? 14 fairways, 13 fairways.
Dude, that puts you in a good position.
Dude, we probably
right away.
hit like honestly like 8 or 9.
So what happened with your middle irons? You should
I
have
was
a better
stroking
score.
them.
No, Ryan.
For Woj, no offense, you should have a better score. If you made 14 fairways, decent drives.
I would definitely say that I had a couple bad holes. Like, you know, I'm not making excuses or anything like that. But like, I was like on the phone with a guy like about a job.
Okay, no, I got you.
I'm trying to hit it, and I was thinking about to myself is like basically pulled a Bobby here of like, fuck it, I'm already out of the cart. I'm just going. Wrong club in this, like right club in the sand, got it out into the rough, and then wrong club.
No, I get that, and it's just call it laziness.
So it was like a 6 on a par 3, like Ryan had, and then I think I had another like 7 on a 4. So like those were the just 2 bad holes. Same thing with Ryan though. I think we easily could have shot him in the mid 80s, me in the lower 80s.
My shit was like
with those
my irons were stroking them like the 5 and the 6 and like the big ones.
I mean, are you not going to tell him about the fucking shot that you had? What hole was that? A fucking par 3, 195 yards out. He just puts it just right pin high.
6 iron.
Fucking, I mean, and
6 iron from that deep. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Ryan can hit the piss out of the ball with those irons.
So I was actually getting them in the air and semi in the direction I wanted it to be. Sometimes it was a little right or left, but mostly pretty on. And just those ones inside of like 50 yards or more, like 20 yards, where it's like you have to kind of
finesse
in
shots,
between. And
I get you.
I was having more luck with my Texas chipper and my putter than trying to chip or pitch it. But it is what it is.
I will say that I was actually fucking nailing putts. So like it was actually pretty nice for a couple of them, like long, like 10-foot one. Just, stroke it, walked up to it, fucking smacked it. So
you could tell I had a good round, too, because I didn't lose a ball till the last hole of the front 9, I think.
Ooh, all right.
Yeah,
so you guys had pretty good control out there.
I think yesterday was a perfect example of why you golf. Like, it was a great day out. We got paired with a random who ended up being great.
Yeah, he's a cool guy. A little chatty, but it was cool.
A little chatty.
And we just, again, we went out there. We hit the shit out of it. As I just posted... earlier today on Thursday that the Ruth's Chris bet has been
Oh yeah,
fulfilled?
you went. He went
finally
after golf.
honored.
Yeah.
Jeremy, way to get it done there, homie.
What'd you order?
I would order like 6 cocktails. And no offense, you've earned it.
So we got the 2 for porterhouse or something like that. So like it was like a 40-ounce porterhouse.
Holy shit.
Yeah, that was sick.
Was that for you and him? There's no way.
Yeah, we split it,
yeah.
and then we also split 2 sides, and I got a lobster tail as a little jab. In the
There we
side.
go.
I was
Good.
like,
No, you
give me
deserve
that,
it.
Give me that lobster tail. We didn't do. I did a beer, which I'm actually surprised that place has like domestic shit beer. There's like
a
Bud Light.
$20 beer.
No, it's $7, and it was Stella. It was like pretty good. Oh no, I
7
take,
is still kind of.
I take that back. I had a Hacker Shore actually, which is a
It's
little.
still $7 for okay.
I'm
whatever.
just saying compared to every other drink on there was like 15, 20 for mixed drinks and shit. I'll take it. But the moral of the story is that it was just in general, golf was great. You know,
And you finish your night
Ruth
with that.
Chris
Hell
was
yeah.
great. You know,
Yeah, we got through the round like less than 4 hours too.
Love that. Love a pace play type of golf.
We had nobody in front of us and nobody behind us. Like the whole. Well, there was people in front of us for like the first couple
damn.
holes, but
Is
then
that worthy?
Yeah, it was.
Woo!
Damn.
all right, and we'll just mention here up front that we're watching the Chiefs Ravens game. We'll get to it in a second, but
Sorry. Yeah.
there'll be outbursts, is what I'm just basically
Yeah,
saying.
no, but anyway, it was a good round of golf. Great day.
All right, Bobby, give just 2 minutes real quick on the stuff that's going to get up on Instagram with the Cubs game.
Right.
Real
So
quick.
my buddy Josh, who's been on the pod,
Yeah.
his wife was able to snag these awesome tickets for the Cubs game. They played the Pirates, and this is where Jameson Tillian was throwing a gem of a game. They pulled him out in the 8th inning, and then they ended up losing. So go figure. Bad. But he
Cubs.
got us these tickets that are $1,000 a pop in terms of value. Like if you go to buy it on like Ticketmaster. We were part of the 1914 Club, which was sponsored by American Airlines. You go in there, full bar, prime rib, salmon, burgers, beer. No matter what, you could go get a cocktail. Didn't like it, throw it back. Not throw it at him, but you could be like, try it again. It was all inclusive, and like the facilities there. Because I'm used to pissing in a trough there. I mean, it's Wrigley.
Yeah.
I felt like Tony Montana, in that sense. It was awesome. And then you could actually see me on the game if you go back to that game. I'm wearing my Charlie Brown Peanuts T-shirt or Peanuts jersey, which was yellow and black. It was a fun game. Everything, all expense paid. I couldn't have asked for a better time. What a cool experience.
Bobby was just out of my view, and the marquee,
They kept on putting it right over me.
like it was just like one row too much. So like I maybe caught like his knees or his bottom half. And then he said he moved, and I was like, dude, I'm sorry, still can't.
I think
find
Marquis
you.
was,
I cannot find where's
Were you
Waldo.
rooting for or against the Cubs?
I was rooting for the Cubs, but the only person that I was trying to show some love to on Pittsburgh was McCutchen. I watched him,
Pretty good.
come up in baseball. He's such an awesome, player, and he hit a home run that day. So I saw McCutchen go yard. So
Yeah.
I'll throw a picture up. It'll be
Yeah.
graphic, but there is a few pictures of me of sitting behind center or home plate,
Right.
and
Some stuff up on Instagram too.
Yeah, it'll be up there.
Those stuff. All right, so I think we are
Yep, wrap it up.
sufficiently into.
football.
We're done with this. So done with the non-football items. Let's go to it. So football season is back in fucking action.
We already got a touchdown each.
So Chiefs Baltimore game. Let's just do a quick rundown and then we'll jump into our fantasy here. So, I mean, these are two good teams from last year. It seems to be pretty competitive, at
It's
least
the
through the
AFC
first little
champs,
bit.
essentially.
I just want the game to simply be high scoring, and I don't give a fuck about the defense because I don't have the defenses in fantasy. That's really all I give a shit about. Just make it good football. Just because I've been watching preseason a little bit here and there, and I'm like, this football sucks. Like, this is fucking B-string and fucking guys who eat a bologna sandwich before the game. I'm just kidding.
Look at this. Hate.
I'm just saying preseason
They're
is bullshit.
trying to figure out the roster. That's all it is.
I know, but now we're prime time. I want to see good games. I don't want to see the bullshit that we experienced last year with the Thursday night games.
Yes.
And
that's
the
fair.
only thing was the first game of the season.
I love it. They came out heavy with this one. This is a great game.
They usually do.
They usually
No,
have the Super Bowl
the
champion.
Jets were the first game of the last season.
No, they were Monday night.
No.
They were Monday night last.
Lions Chiefs.
Yeah, it was Lions Chiefs.
And it was a 23-20 game. It wasn't.
All right, never mind. I stand corrected. All right.
It's all good. I'm just saying though. It's like all I'm looking for is good football, there was a weird penalty thing on the first drive, but it seems to be corrected. But
not a fan of this new
where
kickoff
where
rule.
are you guys at with? I mean, just the game in general. You got Baltimore, you got KC. What are you thinking here?
Well, I got a lot invested in Baltimore, so hopefully a high-scoring Baltimore game. And I think I actually have the defense for them too in one league, in your league.
All right.
So go Baltimore. But
right.
either way, high-scoring.
Out of the 5 times they've met each other, Lamar and Patrick Mahomes, Lamar, they're 1-4. So I'd like to continue to see Kansas City roll Tide, simply because I have a few different bets. And I don't mind if it's high scoring, get yours, but I want Kansas City to run it. That's all.
Okay, I got you. Yeah, I think fantasy implications always reign supreme here.
Yep.
What just happened? Okay, I lost the mic for a second. That was odd.
Technical difficulties.
Yeah, whatever.
Dun,
All
dun,
right, so it should be
dun,
there.
dun. You know that.
So, again, I'm on the same train as Ryan here with I got King Henry. So I'm looking for a Baltimore
Likely.
high-scoring affair, but I think ultimately Kansas City has it, and just Patrick Mahomes is. I've learned very much before.
You don't bet against a champ.
Don't bet against Patrick Mahomes.
I
He
like his
will
attitude.
fucking
We could
kill
all
you.
give him shit about his haircut and everything else, but the guy's a champion. The guy goes out and wins games.
I mean,
Love
good
it.
for him. But let's take
for
a
him.
quick dip here into Bobby's bets and Woj's wagers are
Sure.
back. We both hit actually on the one leg with Derrick Henry touchdown right now. I got Mahomes for 250, Kelsey to have 60.5 receiving yards, Isaiah Pacheco with 50+ rushing. So I'm pretty happy that one leg is already down in the first quarter. We just need the other ones to hit. Bobby, what you got?
I had a free $10 bet, so I got a few going here. Some are like $5 or $10 each. But Kansas City to win by a touchdown, so alternate spread 6.5. Over 39.5 points, and Pacheco 60 rushing yards, 6-0. So I'm cool with that. This one I'm almost guaranteeing a win. Lamar Jackson over 40 yards rushing, Zay Flowers over 50 yards
20.
receiving, and Derrick Henry touchdown, which already happened.
Yeah, and Lamar has like 20.
Lamar already has like 20 yards. Yeah. So the other one, Patrick Mahomes over 250 yards, Xavier Worthy 40 yards for alternate receiving, and he's a speed demon.
No, the guy had a weird hit.
Gotcha. And then Travis Kelce anytime touchdown. And then I threw a $10. This was that free one. Any quarter to end scoreless. So 0-0. I'd imagine maybe on the first game their defense maybe ramps it up. Second quarter, maybe third.
Yeah.
So and that pays out. Not too bad, but it was just a free bet. I was like, that it's possible, especially game one.
Yeah, why
I
not?
gotcha.
Yeah.
All right,
That's
so let's flip the script here.
Let's flip it.
So what we're doing this year, we're doing a little bit more of a collected type of view at fantasy, not view. That's the wrong word.
Ooh.
Type of approach to
Ooh.
fantasy here. Okay,
Sorry.
so you're gonna pick basically one team, one league that you're. Can I get through it?
Yeah, you can
Okay,
get you
thanks, man.
stumbling along, but yeah.
I'm not. You're just laughing in the background.
Finish the sentence.
Yeah, I'm just saying. This year we're gonna have one fantasy team that each of us picks throughout the league. That's
Right.
the one that you're going with. So try and keep it each week to the one league that you need to get going. So and again, I'm gonna post picture up of the lineup, so you guys will kind of follow that one throughout the year is what we're trying to do. So, Bobby, I'll throw it over to you. What league are you choosing, and what's the team?
All right, so I am choosing, the champion league, or I'm the champion of my family league, so I'm going back to my family league, which is 14 members, and my team consists of. I haven't changed my name yet, but I will get around to it. C.J. Stroud, Breece Hall, Chuba Hubbard, Nico Collins, DJ Moore, Evan Ingram, Xavier Worthy. 49ers defense, Jake Moody for kicker. And then on my bench, Isaiah Likely, McMuffin, I call him, but Denver running back backup, Joshua Palmer, Robinson Jr., Kahir Shakir, Caleb Williams, and then I got Jamal Williams from New Orleans as just kind of a deep bench. The 14-man league, you never know, especially New Orleans.
All right, so run me through real quick. Like, what was with 14-team league? Draft strategy is basically like get the best guy available at that time.
Right. I was drafting third, and CeeDee Lamb did fall to me. I just, as a Green Bay fan, I know you shouldn't, think with your heart, use your head, but I couldn't draft Lamb. I should have, but I went with Breece Hall. But I like how Breece Hall runs. As I was a running back growing up, but I just like the way he kind of attacks. And depending on how well Rodgers does, they might rely more heavily on the run. Now, granted, Garrett Wilson's a stud. I think they're rounding out their team a little bit more, but I'm hoping that it doesn't end up biting me in the ass because I chose based on heart rather than head. That's my team.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna talk about the big money league team because that's the one I care about the most.
Okay, go for it.
One where Kyle is the commissioner of the League of Assholes. We had our big live draft in person, 12-man at Steve Fland's house.
So that's on the podcast 49, episode 49.
No. We did that one for the Three Penis wine.
That's Three Penis, correct.
For the Sunday one, that's a little bit more, as Ryan put before. It's business. It's fucking business.
Yeah,
there is no.
So this is like a really competitive league.
Around,
let me just say, first of all, the draft was awesome. This guy on our league, Scuba, prepared basically a Dundies for us. If you're familiar with The Office.
Oh, that's fun.
Where he handed out trophies of old bowling trophies and gave us all awards.
We'll put a picture in. I got the Auden Tate Award.
The guy we always bring up, the Woj pick, the random guy he drafted. Basically, the what the fuck were you doing with this pick kind of thing.
Yeah,
right?
so
this speaks volumes about his fantasy talent.
So every year those trophies will get kind of recycled into who makes the worst pick of the draft. Eventually,
I got the waiver wire nocturnal animal. Basically, I'm the first one on the wire making all the moves.
You're that guy.
He gave me 2 trophies, one for each pickup that I make or whatever or something like that. But it was a really funny, good thing. And then this league, man, everybody's real sharp. Not a lot of people were making dumb picks really, and I must say too, the running backs went early and went often. I had the second pick in that draft, so I went with Tyreek Hill for my first pick. Came back around and said the running backs were going. I took Mike Evans with my second pick.
I like it.
He was sitting there. The value
Such
was
a
there.
touchdown fucking vacuum.
I could have gone 2 running backs, but I went Evans, and then I took Kenneth Walker the third with my third pick. Came back in the 4th and 5th round, took Lamar Jackson, then Sam Laporta in the 5th round.
That's not a bad team right there.
And then I took George Pickens in the 6th. And then after that, it got kind of a little dicey where I had to take running back at this point, and it was a decision here, decision there. I went Gus Edwards, Devin Singletary, Chase Brown, and then I got Mike Williams, the receiver used to be in Chargers and the
Made of glass.
Yep.
I got the Niners defense.
That's not a bad team.
Dicker's my kicker, and then I did draft Trevor Lawrence, but I already dropped him and picked up Bucky Irving, and then I also the backup for Rachaad White in Tampa Bay.
His name is Bucky
Irving, and then I also forgot to mention I drafted Joshua Palmer, who I think is a great high floor.
Don't tell me you dropped him.
No, I have him.
Okay, good.
He was one of my. I have him on every team actually.
He's wide receiver 1 for
exactly. That's why I drafted him. Yeah. So we'll see how it goes. I think my running back's a little shaky. But,
you're weak there, but everywhere else fucking solid.
Got good receivers, I think, and a good flex. Singletary may not be great, but he should have volume and chances. And then if Chase Brown overtakes Moss, or if I do believe Gus Edwards is going to be good. I believe the Chargers with Jim Harbaugh are going to be better. Really, we got to see how the split with him and Dobbins is, but Dobbins always gets hurt.
Dude, Dobbins, I would not worry about.
I'm not worried about
solid
him.
Pick.
Yeah, so we'll see.
Okay.
All right, Woj, tell us.
I'm going to go with...
Oh, also, one more thing.
Go ahead.
My team name for this is great. I came up with it last night.
Hold on. Sorry, real quick before you say it. You said that you don't have one yet, but you will.
I am.
soon.
Yeah, by the time you get my pick, I'll have a different team name.
Was struggling to come up with a name. Just couldn't come up with anything. I like coming up with something on my own as opposed to looking at names online. I do kind of look at something to inspire me maybe or think of other things, but I usually try and do something with a show or a movie with my player's name. So I got... Annexation of La Puerto Rico.
Oh, I like that. That's great. That's from Little Giants.
Little Giants. It's a great.
And I have in another league, not the one I'm talking about, but I have Puka Shells and Whale Tails because I got Puka Nakua.
That's great.
Always love a good team name.
Yeah.
I'm going with Three Penis Wine. That is my team. There is
the flag?
The name is Jerk Off Party.
Why is it that?
From the league where Rafi comes in the one time and he's like, what are you bros up to? He's like, jerk off party. Start some button.
Wait, ESPN allowed you to do that?
I am shocked, dude.
Yeah.
I am absolutely
They're usually
shocked.
so like strict on
But
it.
jerk off party from Rafi of the league. I will just say I mashed the league before this season.
We got to.
I was it's not an every year thing for me, but like I went nuts on. I think I finished in like 7 seasons in like 3 weeks.
Nice.
I mean, they're only 30-minute episodes, but I was mashing episodes. All right, so I'm not gonna go through everybody here, but I got Tyreek Hill as my
Number 1.
numero uno. I believe.
Where'd you draft?
He was third.
I had third.
Yeah.
Yeah. So again, in pretty much every league though, like CMC, and I think then CeeDee Lamb went second, if I'm not mistaken. There
For a lot, yeah, that's fair.
and then
Yes.
So Tyreek Hill.
No, CD or did he?
For the most part, yes. Let's continue.
Okay.
Or was it Brees? No, it wasn't
Brees, it was a little bit deeper. I picked him up because I hate, drafting Dallas
I got you.
players. Yeah.
All right, so Tyreek Hill, Jalen Hurts are I'd say my heavy hitters. Those are the guys that are going to get points. I have Olave. I'm not super enthused about it. I have Devontae Adams. Not super enthused
I like
about
Adams.
it.
He's
Good
going to play.
offense.
I will say in this league, though, I definitely sacrificed running backs for wide receivers. Like I said during the draft, which is on the 49th episode that you were referencing earlier, was like, I'm saying like, oh, yeah, if this guy falls to me, I might have to take him. Didn't. Then on the wraparound, Devontae Adams was still there. So I was like, fuck, now I have to take him.
Yeah.
My only issue with Devontae Adams, and I hope I'm wrong,
Good
is
luck.
that he's just too volatile, I think, when it comes to in my experience, I think he is a guy prime for I am going to request a trade if the game is not going well. My quarterback can't hit me. I can't do that. He has very
That'll
diva.
be good for you though.
Nobody has very diva mentality, and it's not great if he goes to like
Okay.
I don't know.
Just a
what
quick
would be
retort.
good- Miami
Minshew
or
and him
something.
were starting to develop a rapport. Now, the one thing that could, I guess, hurt you just because I think he's underrated, and I think he's going to be a better running back. You heard it here first. Zamir White. Don't sleep on him. I think he's a great running back. But then opposite of Adams is Jacoby Myers, another good wide receiver. So there is a
who I do have in this league. which is
like I
a
said,
bad-
it's a possibility that he'll kind of take away some of the lightning. But dude, Adams is Adams. So my former Green Bay Packer, you got to give some love.
I think it'll be better than last year because I think Minshew's better than what they had.
Agreed.
But I had Devontae Adams last year. It was a headache because it was 1 week 30 points, 1 week 0.5 or something, like 1 point, 2 point, like. So he finished I think 12th or something, but it's like
Feast or famine.
very uneven.
Yeah.
And I ended up having more success with Jacoby Myers. Honestly, he was more consistent. Yeah.
Yes.
So consistency is a huge thing that I don't feel like I have, and the other side of it is that my bench is. I mean, well, we're gonna say it loud and proud. We drafted the Zeke man multiple leagues because
Oh my God!
I
Really?
will draft him until the day that I die.
Should we schedule an appointment with a therapist
He got him
at
in
this
the big.
point?
He got him in the big league too.
I bet he went way too early with it too. I bet you got him like 8th round.
No, he's my bench in both leagues.
He's not going to play.
He's the
He's a
starting.
starter.
Oh, okay.
I
Let's
mean,
revisit this week 5. That's all. Let's
Sure.
revisit it.
I'm just saying is that I don't care, and I'll pick up Zeke till I die, or more likely that he is
Oh
no
my
longer
God!
in the NFL.
The amount of commitment you and your brother have for washed out talent. I guess I don't know.
Okay, I mean his affinity for Trubisky is just that's
Yeah, but your
something-
affinity for Zeke, he isn't going to do
Zeke won
shit.
me, Zeke won me a championship, and he's
Yeah,
still
like 7 years ago.
and he's
I agree.
still producing because he's still in the league.
Right.
I'm not counting on Zeke to be like, hey, you're my number one. So
I
I'm
know.
not
And a decade from
delusional.
now, when he's filing for AARP, you could maybe pick him up then too. I don't know.
Okay, well,
All right.
Bobby, just for that, in fucking 10 years from now, I am gonna fucking put
Well-
Zeke. I'm gonna write it in the goddamn.
Bobby, he
Pick
did.
him up.
Bobby, he did get the Auden Tate Award. So
Of course
Man,
he did.
Fuck you.
All right. This all checks out.
So I mean, again, on my team, I'm cautiously optimistic. I think there's a lot of boom, but there's a lot of bust in that fumble. But yeah, so like I,
I think
said,
they got the ball.
a lot of outbursts and stuff like that. But I mean,
Yo.
all right. So let's go into though.
He hates me.
As football season is back underway, the Jewel Buffalo Dip has definitely made.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to lie about it
Another.
this year. I mean, it was always Woj bringing it from Jewel.
Hey, man, it was a fucking hilarious bit. I laughed a lot.
I could tell with those eyes that you're glaring over this direction.
Fucking Jesus Christ. It pissed me off to no end.
I know it did. That's why I
almost brought in the Jewel thing like a couple times. I'm like,
I know you did.
I'll go get the little tin.
I'll bring you my receipt.
Yeah, fucking show receipt.
I just told them about a good dip that my buddy Nick told me about college, so I'll make that one of these days.
Okay. Well, yeah, we'll save that for when we still got to do that cook-off. I want to do that.
Oh yeah, don't worry, I'll burn you on that for sure.
You definitely will not. I've been thinking of recipes all day long. So let's kind of go to
skirt steak.
In terms of the league right now. I mean, this is tough because we just get first glimpse, of the season here, but like, who do you guys have as like looking good? It doesn't necessarily need to be like, hey, this is going to win the championship, but just give me a team or two that like you think is going to be top of the table, either in the playoffs or vying for a championship.
I hate to go back there again, but don't sit on Houston, I guess, for the AFC.
Okay.
And for the NFC, I love my Green Bay Packers, but Detroit's still going to be a solid team. They're going to be a force to be reckoned with. But, I'm also excited to see what the Bears could do. But NFC North right now is going to be a tough division. It really will.
Yeah, I mean, to me, and I just texted this to a buddy, just like, I finished the last episode of Hard Knocks.
Yeah.
Right? And they did a great job of just sucking Caleb Williams off and doing all that.
Yeah.
It's great.
Definitely had an agenda.
But he's a first round.
I'm
first
excited.
overall
Like I said,
pick.
excited.
So like it makes sense that they're going to do a lot of coverage on him. I'm just more of a proof in the pudding guy. Like I want to see it week 1. Are you doing this in the NFL when the games count? Because while he was making plays in the preseason, it is a point of emphasis that it is still the preseason. He only played limited snaps, and
against backup defenses.
You make money by playing the whole fucking game. So that's where I'm at with that. Sorry, just a quick interjection on the Bears. But you said Houston and then Lions are kind of top teams.
I think that everyone could come back and say Kansas City for AFC, and I would agree. I'm just saying for the ones that you shouldn't sleep on. And I guess another team I want to mention, and I think this is more of a stretch than anything, but Tampa Bay. I'm curious.
It's more of a dark horse. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Like I said, I don't expect them to do it, but if they make the playoffs, I don't think count them out. We'll see, because I like Baker. All right, but that's just me.
Yeah. I think it's going to be the usual suspects.
Yep.
It's the Chiefs, it's the Ravens, it's the Niners.
I don't think Buffalo's doing it.
Probably not Buffalo. I mean, maybe Miami can. It depends on their.
And I have to hate, I guess, 49ers. They spank us every time.
The Cowboys always tease it, but they never come through. I think we're talking about
Cowboys.
I think if we're talking about teams that are going to be improved, I definitely think, like Bobby said, I think the Bears are going to be improved. I think they could get like 9-10 wins maybe if they're, really Caleb Williams is doing well and the offense is clicking. The defense looks really improved. I'm really excited to watch them. And then I think the Chargers. I think Jim Harbaugh.
You like the Chargers?
Everywhere he goes, he wins. Like I think he'll figure. Again, I think
he's a winning coach. Yeah,
they'll be improved. I don't think they're going to be the bottom. Still got Justin Herbert, who was a top 5 quarterback last year. You got a new coaches, new belief system, I think he's going to revamp the team. I think they're going to be just better. I don't know if they're going to make the playoffs or something like that. I think they maybe would be like a wild card at best, but I think they're going to be improved.
I just also add in on the Chargers. I think that it's very nice that they just have Kansas City to really compete with.
Right, yeah.
There's not really too much other competition in the NFC.
Could the ground cause the
AFC
fumble?
West.
Because technically
that's not a catch. No chance.
No, you got to come through with it. You got to complete the process or whatever. I thought.
All right, that's fair. Sorry. All right,
it's all good. I would go. The usual suspects definitely. This so everything Gaz said is pretty much
probably minus Buffalo though, like he said. Too.
You're right. I'm looking more at Miami to take a big leap to maybe be
fair.
Beating the Chiefs out, maybe beating the Ravens out in a tough fought game in the playoffs. Just because I think that they got a lot of talent and they're not going to be able to hold on to that for a tremendous amount of time. Like, yes, they signed Waddle and Hill's got a good deal, but
their offense is stacked.
Offense is stacked. Tua, I think, looked all right. I
Tua
mean, he
looks
passed.
good.
He passed for like 4,000 yards.
4,000 yards last year. Yeah.
So I just
Hawk
look at
Tua on
Miami
that thing,
to
yeah.
take that next step, and then same thing with the Bears. I'm hoping, and they should be better than they were last year, but it's really a crapshoot in how they play the division. Minnesota to me is the worst, but then Minnesota always ekes out a win against the Bears somehow, or
I don't know.
Green Bay. Okay, we split one game with that.
I
Okay,
could
we
see
split
that.
games with the Lions. It's a tough division. I will say it's definitely not the toughest in the NFC. That would definitely go to
I have a hot take real quick while we're on just.
probably NFC. Maybe East.
I'm
Okay.
talking Green Bay at Philly week 1. I don't think Philly is the old Philly. I think that Philly's lost quite a bit, and their defense is very porous now, even more so. I think Green Bay pulls off a good win week 1 against Philly. What are your thoughts, real quick, just out of the gate,
Okay,
about
well-
that assessment?
I think the assessment is fine. I think Philly though is going to still.
They got that offense.
They still have talent on the offense,
Right, agreed.
And for whatever reason, teams cannot stop a tush push. I don't give a shit that Jason Kelsey is no longer there. You put any guy there,
Now you got Saquon.
and you got Saquon, another
That's
guy.
right,
to,
Saquon
to,
shifted.
Picked up Jahan Dotson.
So they have an offensive powerhouse, but if we could,
I mean, yeah, I think the defense is definitely a question mark for them. But at the end of the day, if your team is putting up 30 points in the NFL, you're going to win a shitload of games.
I'm just curious if they could make those, like you said, that tush push push. But
The tush push push?
tush push push, yeah. But I think Green Bay's defense, granted, is not great, but we're middle of the road. If we could just create just some stops, I think our offense will roll their defense almost every possession.
But let's also comment on the other side of that coin, dude. Is that Green Bay and Jordan Love? It's not the fact that I'm a Bears fan, you're a Packers fan, or whatever. But the contract that he got this season, it was
Unreal.
It was a lot of money.
Unreal. I would
And it
not
was-
have paid it.
And it's too early.
Should have waited a year.
Because there is a very high chance that in the NFL he gets injured, he has a couple bad games, and then the problem is that you're stuck on the hook, and you don't want to have a fucking another case of Russell Wilson where you're paying him to beat you in the league. You're paying part of his salary when he's on another team, if that happens in like 4 years or 3 years.
Committed just between Love and Jacobs is what? $500 million, right? Ish.
It's a lot.
Or pretty much
350 and
close.
110. Yeah, like
that's ridiculous.
400.
That is absolutely freaking ridiculous. But all right, I digress.
So let's just go through that so that we can just use the rest of the time to just fucking chop it up here. Let's just go through. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm setting everything up this first week so that everybody knows the kind of program here. So last year we weren't very consistent with getting all of the picks in.
Oh yeah, we got to do
so
that.
this year we're just going to go through every week. We're going to do all the picks. I'm going to compile them at the end.
See how
Everybody's
we
going to
do.
know what your percentages for the thing for the season, and I'll also make sure that everybody,
We'll track it.
like I'm just saying, like when we have guests on, maybe we'll not really include them because like Aaron did it last year and he had like 14 picks.
Right.
So he
No,
was
I
like,
get it.
you
No,
know,
we'll
7
stick
and
with the
7.
core.
Yeah. All right. So let's just say, because it's still early, who you guys got for Ravens Chiefs?
KC.
Baltimore.
I'm gonna go on the KC train.
My man.
Packers, Eagles, Bobby. I don't think I have to really ask.
Packers, baby.
Philly.
I'm going Philly as well. Again, just Jordan Love a little unproven there. Cardinals, Bills.
Cardinals.
That's a bold strategy.
It is a bold one, I know.
Bills.
Buffalo as well. All right. Patriots, Bengals. I think
Bengals
we're
all day.
Bengals.
Bengals.
Yep. Vikings, Giants. Dumpster fire.
Vikings, because Giants are going to be, I think, one of the worst teams in the league.
Go Giants.
I'll go.
I'll bet money
It's the
on
first game. Anything happens.
I'm gonna go Vikings just for the shit of it. Titans, Bears.
that. Burrs.
Bear down. Panthers, Saints.
The Aints.
But
not by much.
Upset Panthers.
All right.
I'm gonna go Saints.
Those in-division games are always close, man.
Yeah, they are.
I think Saints on 5.
Carolina's got a new head coach, so
They
we'll
got
see.
new proof players. Bryce Young could be better.
Steelers, Falcons.
Falcons.
Do it. I know you want to.
No, I hate to admit it, but I think the Falcons will
Thank you.
take
All
the
right.
Steelers.
Russell Wilson has calf tightness, by the way.
Wait, are you taking the Steelers?
I'm taking the Falcons.
All right,
That's
my
what it
man.
is. Jaguars, Dolphins.
Dolphins.
Yeah, I think Dolphins. I don't like the Jaguars in that one. Texans, Colts, Texans.
Yep.
Yes.
And Raiders, Chargers.
Chargers.
I got Raiders on that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Raiders as well. I think Raiders get.
I think that's gonna be a fun game to watch, though.
They got a good that Antonio
That'd
Pierce
be-
guy for Las Vegas. I feel like he's like a player coach.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
Jackie
curious
Moon.
to see what the Raiders do. I honestly think that they have a decent team. We'll see how they come to the show.
Yeah. Broncos, Seahawks in a game of who gives a fuck.
Right, dude. That is the give.
Seahawks.
Seahawks too. I think Denver with Bo Nix. We'll see.
Hopefully a big Ken Walker game.
Yeah, maybe.
Cowboy Brown.
At
Cowboys.
Browns. It's Cleveland, baby.
Cowboys.
I got Cowboys. Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's a tough game for the Browns defense
Watson
early on.
sucks.
Okay. I'm not backing him too heavy, but the team around him is solid.
I think the biggest problem with Watson is that he hasn't played a fucking full season where he's been doing
So
well.
just hand it off
Dallas
to Chubb
has
or
a
Ford.
good defense, and they should
Micah
have a better
Parsons.
offense.
Or dip it out to frickin' Amari. Or now they have Jerry Jeudy. So, all right.
I definitely got Amari in a couple leagues. I'm pretty happy about that.
So, we'll see.
Commanders, Buccaneers.
Bucks. That's going to be a tough game, too.
I'll take Commanders and an upset.
I'll go Buccaneers. Rams, Lions. I got the
Lions.
Lions.
Rams.
Ooh.
Jeez,
I dig it. I dig it.
upset alert over here. Then we got last game, Jets, 49ers.
49ers.
Niners for sure. Aaron Rodgers, I think he's going to definitely not lose a step, but I think his running capability will go down with just coming off.
I don't know about his mental
Achilles.
fortitude. I've heard stories about him seeing the Slender Man or some guy in a hat. And
Bobby,
it's
that is 100% a rumor that a 12-year-old started.
Yeah, but this is the same guy who also went into off the grid, slept in Hobbit essentially for 2 months to clear his mind. So
Nope.
yeah, well that's true. I know it is.
It's not. It was 4 or 5 days, dude.
Bullshit. It was more than 4 or 5. It doesn't matter.
It does
Okay,
matter because
okay.
that's
Okay,
crazy.
I'm just saying he's a little eccentric, so maybe the mental fortitude isn't there. That's all.
Okay, I get where you're.
And I'm a
your
Packer fan.
point
I'm just
is-
saying. I think I want him to do well. I do.
Okay, that's fine. I'm just saying that he didn't. He only was 4 or 5 days in it. Light deprivation. And I don't.
But that's still fucking weird.
I don't. I'm not saying that it's not
Yeah.
weird. I just think that
Terrible play
the.
call. What the fuck is that?
I agree with you that I think he is definitely. It's going to be an odd season for Aaron Rodgers. I think he can come back and throw some good shit at times, but he's playing this 49ers game 1.
That's a tough.
I mean,
pill
I think
right
he's
out of
going
the
to be
gate.
on his fucking ass a lot because
I'm
I
surprised
don't-
they do an NFC AFC right out of the gate, but I guess half of these things are,
Well-
Is his Achilles going to hold up too?
I'm just saying you gotta play your division. You only play your division 8 times, so
right. No, that's fair. And
Or
I think in the
7
NFC,
times.
we're literally the last 10 weeks are all the 8 games.
yeah. I hate when the scheduling does that. But so what do you guys think here? Because I think we're gonna get into another full season of Thursday night shit games. They have.
This is a nice one to start it off, though.
Yeah, but that's always the case. Is that the first week is good teams usually playing.
Well, they have a full rest. And
Right.
Well, let's avoid the Pats. Let's avoid the Giants. Let's avoid
Well,
Carolina.
right. I'm just saying though is that I think I don't see any change here. I think Thursday nights is always going to be a shitty night until they get rid of it. Like this year, they're doing a Friday night game, which I'm like, it's
I
intriguing.
could dig it. Yeah.
But I think the ultimate solution is you just put another game on Sunday. Fuck Thursday night. Put another game on Sunday, and you're gonna make the same amount.
It's
of
called
money.
viewership, I guess. They could have more of a target audience on a day where there's only one game. There it is. I mean, that's called marketing 101.
It's fine. I'm just saying though is
See how
that
business Tim real quick.
unanimously. I don't give a fuck.
I'm an HR.
Sure. Unanimously
What you
though,
are.
Thursday Thursday night games, again, like you can count on your hand each year how many, like either high scoring or close. I mean, the last year wasn't there like a 6 to like
it was a snooze
7
fest.
game
It
or
was
some
that
shit?
was horrible.
You
Watching
know.
that was basically,
I think if it's a quality control type of thing, it's like, dude, get rid of Thursday night games. Like, I know that college has the market on these other things, but
I think Saturday be better, like you said. But
I think
college
Saturday-
football.
no, college owns it.
Fuck
Too much
college.
gambling on that for
College
sure.
football sucks.
I mean, dude, I
Disagree,
don't-
but I don't follow college all that much.
I just don't get it. I don't understand when you're the first week in college football is basically tune-up games for like 90%.
Yeah, you're
going
gonna get like 41-2.
Dude,
or,
the one team, Tennessee put up like 69. It was 69-3 or something like that. I'm like, how is this supposed to be entertaining?
for
I don't
all
even-
the touchdowns, that's pretty fun.
But I don't give a shit if you're even a Tennessee fan. At a certain point, you're like, okay, this is not a game. Like, and you already knew it going into.
I'll say this, sorry, and this is kind of off topic. I drove to the Smoky Mountains, but I had to go through Tennessee to do so, and I went through the campus of that thing is like on an angle of like 60 degrees. I can only imagine drunk fans if you're not paying attention, like the downtown area or kind of near some of the school buildings. You trip, you're going all the way to the bottom of wherever that stops or levels off.
I mean, let me maybe just like fine tune my argument here. Is like I think college football does a lot of good things,
Yeah.
but I think the NFL does stuff better. And if they could merge some of these things, where it goes to like college football stadiums have 105,000 seats, like NFL stadiums isn't too close to behind, but like make it that fucking big of a spectacle that you're like, hey, there's 100,000 seats
I
here.
think, but I think you're underplaying it. There's a lot of games like Michigan versus Wisconsin. Those games packed, sold out. You can't even go to the bars and you're like in the area. So, to your point, yes, there are a lot of games though that are just like Alabama versus Arkansas Technical State, where it's going to be like 75-0 at half. But I get where you're coming from.
I'm just saying is that to me, NFL always reigns supreme. Even the shitty games are still like, hey, I want to
It's
watch
the best
this.
of the best. Why would you not want to watch?
Like I said, it's more entertaining. There's more flair in college because you have that quarterback who drops back for 6 seconds.
There's no defense.
I know there's
Yeah.
no defense. I know. I'm
It's
aware.
horrible. And
You know what? I'll say Iowa has defense. Iowa actually knows how
I
to
mean,
play deep.
there are a lot of teams that do, but again, I just had the mention of I needed to make my hatred for college football known off the bat.
That's fair. That's fair.
But yeah, let's in terms of football though, guys.
Are we talking about this matchup? Could we go through some of the players? Are we
no,
getting to that?
I
No,
don't
not
want
yet.
to do that. Sorry, I just vetoed it because I wanted
Vetoed?
to do it.
All right.
All right, so let's start though with when you're watching a game. Okay, now I think we did this to a T, and we're gonna let the viewers out there think about this. Appetizer, buffalo dip, solid.
love it.
Pizza, solid.
Good.
Wings, solid. Right?
Yes.
And beer for those who want to drink, and all that soda pop for those who don't. Mixed drinks. These are the essentials, right? This is how you do it. You do the food, you do the game, you do the ambiance, right?
Mhm.
Like, what else is there anything missing from here?
I think they're missing the French onion dip with chips. That's
Okay.
always, I think, a nice solid.
It's a good
And
appetizer.
You have some colder deli ones, those pinwheels.
Ah, those are
I do
good,
like
yes.
those.
Gabagool.
Gabagool. Jalapeno poppers or like mini burgers sometimes. You'll see those.
Maybe something fried would probably be.
Yeah, you could
pretty
go
good.
that route. And like I said, it's but what we have here today was really on point.
I think it's just more of a. I think we did Bobby made the suggestion to like, hey, let's do the 50th.
It's our 50th. Yeah.
I mean, hey, this is a nice thing to get to 50. We, have a lot of shit up, so go check it out because it fucking took.
Yeah,
some
we'd
time
love for you to like and subscribe.
to do that shit. But
We talk
Ryan,
shop.
I mean, to me, guys, I think we've talked about all of like the topics kind of to
Yeah.
have. I was gonna take a dip back to more like fantasy after Bobby.
That's fine.
We'll go over the teams though that are playing right now.
I just want some X factors.
So
That's
yeah,
all I really want.
go into your X factor. Lead the
So
discussion.
going into this, matchup, and I know obviously we're already through, half of second quarter, but what do you consider your X factor? And I guess what was your expectations of? So X factor first, and then who do you need to be your stable, performer? Who needs to be the X factor and who needs to be the
Wait,
stable
this
performer?
game or fantasy?
This game right now.
Okay.
Well, the Chiefs definitely, they already had him, Xavier Worthy, getting that rush.
Is that the X factor you're referring to?
Yeah,
Yep.
for like that sweep. I think it's a
sweep. It was a rushing game.
rushing touchdown, basically.
Mm-hmm.
They can use him in different
I mean, he's fast as
formations in
shit.
different ways, and even like faking to him opens up something else for somebody else.
Right, they have to pay
Like,
attention.
Seems like he's going to be a big factor in this offense.
I would go X Factor. I'd probably go Travis Kelce because he's starting to heat up as he drops a fucking pass.
Right?
But he was
had to say
definitely
something.
starting to heat up though in terms of he just caught like a long one before that. I bet you dollars to donuts he probably gets this on a 3rd and 5 as well. And then you said what was the other part?
Like, who do you need to be a stable performer? You can't have them slip, but you don't expect too much of them.
If Casey pulls this off, stable guy, I think Xavier Worthy. Like he doesn't need to do a whole bunch more, but like get him a couple more passes, get him in, running the ball on a wide receiver screen or something like that. But I think he's more of a guy that like he needs to keep being an option, and then I think he'll hit another big play or whatever. I know that's kind of an X
I get
factor
you though. It's a good
type
distraction.
of definition. Yes, I don't think he needs to score another 40-yard touchdown.
Good
or
job. He
30-yard
broke up
touchdown.
a pick. Yeah,
But
okay.
that's what I'm going. Ryan, what do you got for your
Stable Eddie.
guy?
The Chiefs or Ravens or just Chiefs?
Just doesn't matter.
Whoever you want.
Who do you want to
win?
be Mr. Stable in order to make things work?
I mean, we just mentioned the KC.
The Ravens will probably need a pass catcher like Zay Flowers or Andrews to be consistently moving the ball in the field. So, I mean, I would say Lamar Jackson would need one or both. I guess Mark Andrews is usually reliable, so I guess Zay Flowers would be the guy he needs to really help push the ball in the field outside of running it, of course.
Right, which they will definitely do in the second.
I think having Derrick Henry will definitely help too. Like the fact that you have a two-headed rushing attack now, who like you
King
can do
Henry.
a bunch of option plays or fakes or like you just don't know who's gonna get it. I feel like with them.
So on each side of the ball, I think steady Eddie. You need Patrick Mahomes doesn't need to have an incredible performance tonight. I think he needs to mitigate where he can.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But your X factor for the Chiefs, you already called it. I think Worthy needs to be that guy. Now on the Ravens, I think steady Eddie. They're going to need Derrick Henry to be their steady Eddie. They need to get 50 to 60 yards out of him and a red zone performer.
Mm-hmm.
And then your X factor, I think, is quite the opposite. I think Mark Andrews needs to be that X factor. If he doesn't show up today and doesn't get, like I'd say, 5 or 6 receptions and 50-plus yards, they lose.
I mean, they're throwing it all over to Isaiah Likely, which is like...
Which I have him on my bench, but
He's
Isaiah
fine.
Likely's good.
No, he's fine, but I'm just saying, like, why aren't you throwing something else to Mark Andrews? Like, for me, Lamar Jackson, and you guys know my take on him, is like, I don't think he's an exceptional passer, and he gets a lot of people go, and he's like, well, he's a great passer. I'm like, is he though?
It's 2-time MVP.
Yeah,
let's not discount what he's
it's
capable
fine.
of.
He didn't fucking win it for throwing
Throws
the
it
goddamn out.
great.
No,
Yeah.
He's not the
fine.
best passing quarterback.
He throws it fine.
He throws it
But I'm just
decent.
saying, though, in a game like this, like,
It's an
why aren't
oversell.
you trying to do more passing? Like, I know that he's not always calling the plays, but, like, in my mind, it's like, for a game against Kansas City, the Chiefs are going to put up points. They're literally doing that right now.
The Chiefs' rush defense is solid. One thing that you commented on, though,
Right.
I think that, and this is my old Green Bay coming through, but you have Lamar Jackson doing a jet sweep with Isaiah Likely and a tackle coming off. That's a huge one, too. And if you have Lamar and then you have Derrick Henry or maybe someone else in the backfield, that's going to be a tough like wall to, crack.
I just think that the play calling for the Ravens so far has been a little...
It's been weak.
It's been a little odd of like, hey, we're just going to run it down your throat with Henry. Well, the Chiefs are stopping that, so then what the fuck are you going to do?
They need to go back to the option.
Still run it down your throat. They haven't done anything since they scored a touchdown. So
Or play action. God, let Zay Flowers maybe like bust out a quick, stop and go, but they need to incorporate the scare factor of Lamar. If they don't do that, they will lose this game. They need to incorporate that.
No, I absolutely agree. I just think the second half will really be telling. Usually there's a lot more points scored in the second half too. I find normally. But Ryan, did you give your on the both sides? All right.
I did.
So like I said, for the last little bit here, I want to pivot back to fantasy here.
Let's go fantasy.
I got some questions that I want to throw at you guys because in this league where my team name is Jerk Off Party, I'm gonna keep working.
I can't believe that's like that's not even creative. There's no.
It's Jerk Off. It's Rafi. It doesn't have to be creative.
All right, fine.
What's up, jerks? I could do that one.
Pocket dog.
Rafi Bob.
Pocket dogs.
Brolo El Cunado. I was that for a year.
So you're just basing it off of one character. I got it.
Dude, Rafi is the best, and if you fucking
He is.
say
No, I think he's funny as hell.
Disparaging word, I will fight
But
you.
can you be
in
a
the
little more
street.
creative? I don't know. You got 14 people on your team. You can't be creative. I don't know.
I think it's if you don't like it, you just do it. I think it's fine to do a reference from the league.
I mean, I don't give
it.
a shit what anybody thinks.
I think at one
just
point I had
doing it.
3 Joneses and 3 Williams on my team at one. It's a common last name.
So, no, but like my question here is that like I got this bench and I'm not super psyched about it. Zeke, Keon Coleman, Jacoby Myers, George Pickens, Tua Tagovailoa,
Tua
Lions
solid.
D. I'm just saying though, is like, do you guys find though that a lot of years you're like the starters are the starters. Everybody else is like, if somebody goes down, now I get intercept. Or do you ever have a draft? Like, I guess, does your draft this year have something where you feel like you could go, well, I could play 8 out of these, or 6 out of these receivers that I drafted?
I drafted different ways in different drafts. It just depends how the draft's going.
You kind of have to, other than that.
But again, we're focusing on
the one that we
one that
discussed.
you're-
Yeah.
Okay, the one we discussed, I
The big
focused
money.
more on the starting lineup than the bench.
Okay.
Like I said, in the 4th and 5th, I went quarterback, tight end, instead of building up maybe more running backs
Depth, okay.
or receivers, because I thought
The talent pool at
a
that
guy. Yeah, I wanted a top 3 to 5 guy in both those positions, because if you have a quarterback can get you like 25 to 35 points consistently,
Right.
you have an advantage. And same thing with tight end. If you have one of the top 3, usually, and the guys usually were like Kelsey, Laporta, and Andrews, let's say.
Okay.
And there's a couple other guys that are decent, but outside of those 3, you're kind of like a little nervous. You don't know how they're going to produce or not. So it's good to have. It's like you have an advantage in that position every week. Hopefully, if you have a guy like a Laporta, like a Kelsey in that, hopefully, in that position every week, as opposed to you have to stream every week. Or Kittle's really boom or bust. He might have a 30-point week, and then he might have a 5-point.
I'm a little more hopeful for Kittle, but I get you.
No, but he's good. I'm just saying, but like other guys are more usually generally more consistent. We used more than certain other players. So in that league, I definitely focused more on that. And then like as opposed to juxtaposed to your league, the
Good word.
3 penis wine, I have like a whole solid team where I think I have a good starters and a bench, or like I was able to do both. I think it just depends how the draft is going, like
Right.
who's being taken. You kind of got to read the room, like, oh, this guy already has this, so I can wait on that, or it depends on what position and shit like that.
So Bobby, what about your team that we're focusing on? Do you think that you can play your depth guys at any point, or is it really more of
I think that I have a solid bench. Like, this is that 14-man league, so you're scraping from the
it's
bottom.
rough.
But the reality is I have Hubbard, which, I mean,
Cuba.
the one dude's for the first 4 weeks, he's still on IR or something like that.
Jonathan Brooks.
But
That's the rookie, right?
that's
Yeah.
right. I think I got a lot of talent there. I'm happy with how I picked. Like I said, I passed on CeeDee Lamb and, called that my crux, but, whatever.
Sedarion DeLeon.
Whatever. But I'm
That's
excited.
his-
I'm
that's his
excited
legal
about my
name.
bench though, because like I have a Palmer, I have a McMuffin who might
Okay.
be the start. Like, I have a lot of potential
Okay.
on my bench.
Yeah, I would say for my team too, like I waited to get the running back, so I took them like pretty much round 7, 8, and 9, as opposed to those middle rounds. I got one early and then waited, so it's kind of like my running backs are kind of like a wait and see, or like Gus Edwards could be good, maybe not. New team, new system, old system, new team, I should say, because I think Greg Roman went back there. And he's got Dobbins as competition, but I don't know. I don't really believe in Dobbins.
No, neither do I.
Chase Brown is the backup right now, but a lot of people say
a lot of hype on Chase.
he looked better in camp than Moss, and he might overtake the job. So if that happens for me,
Don't you?
I got
fucking say
another
that.
starter. I hope it does.
I have Zach Moss.
And then,
I have Zach Moss too, but he's right. I mean, we'll see.
I know. I don't want it to be true.
And then at that point, I could have taken Austin Eckler or Chase Brown, and I believed more in Brown, I guess, than Eckler.
Eckler's on his way out.
That's
What
I
can Brown do for
figured.
you?
And I have Robinson, so I hope he's on his way
And then
out.
I took hopefully a higher floor guy, or at least a big volume guy in Singletary. I know that he's not the best, but he's usually solid. And again, the team offense is not great, but a lot of carries went to Saquon. Someone's got to get those carries. He seems to be the guy who's going to be doing so. So hopefully he's getting like 20 plus carries a game and at least gets opportunity, for the Giants in that offense. So we'll see. It's a lot of wait and see. And then I got, like he said, Josh Palmer. I took him in every draft.
He's going to surprise you.
He's the number one for the Chargers, like he
was
said.
solid last
and
year.
he was every time he had to come in for Keenan Allen or Mike Williams, he was always a good spot start guy. So I think granted more opportunity and a bigger role, he could be maybe a flex player at best.
The positive for Joshua Palmer is that Justin Herbert looks good throwing the football.
Right,
Like,
and
he's got a smooth stroke.
Yes.
And he fucking can sling that shit out there 40, 50 yards, no problem.
Yes.
That's the real positive for Josh Palmer.
And people talk about Ladd McConkey, and he was
I'm
great
excited about him.
in college, but he's the rookie, and Josh Palmer and Herbert already have a history and a connection together.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully that'll pay dividends, at least earlier in the season. Maybe later on, McConkey gets more of a rapport with Herbert, and he comes on. We'll see.
Look at this. Ryan fucking talk about fantasy football as a goddamn scholar. The
Well,
juxtaposition.
he's won a bunch. I mean,
the juxtaposition, the dividends. I'm just
The
saying
proof
you
is in the
don't
pudding.
use words like juxtaposition when we're playing 2K.
I always liked English class, and
look at this guy trying to Webster us.
When I do my draft prep, I really focus in on it. Like I only started maybe
The dichotomy of
middle
your
of
type of.
middle of August, but once you start focusing on it, you kind of you got to know who's going where and when and potential and sleep, all that shit.
I know you go deep into the research here. I'm just I'm shocked that the words that are coming out of your mouth.
Hey, I'm impressed. This guy's a word of the day calendar for sure.
We'll see. Half the time, like we talked about too, your team is nothing like the team you drafted throughout the year. I am a huge waiver wire person, so I'm sure I'll be getting rid of 3, 4, 5. Who knows how many players? Like we'll just see how it goes.
Question for you guys out of the cannon: Jacoby Myers, Judy.
Jacoby Myers. I'm not a Judy. I've never been a Judy guy. I don't like
Jerry
him.
Judy is one. He's injury prone.
I mean,
2, Bo Nix could be good, but like not having a quarterback that's getting you targets is doing him a disservice.
I would
could have been so good, but it just never had a quarterback.
I would just say too, Jacoby Myers is probably the second target option on the Raiders, whereas Jerry Judy's probably the third,
right
behind Njoku and obviously Amari Cooper.
Mm-hmm.
So I've never been a Judy guy. I know he's supposed to be like a crisp route runner and all this stuff and have all his potential, but he's never done anything so far. I always avoided him in drafts, and I don't like him.
Yeah, I just going back to the draft kind of strategy and like not having people on the team that you're going to be. Somebody said I fucking whoever credit it and then put my name.
With Kenny or whatever.
No, I don't remember if it was. I think it was a guy on like social media saying like you can't win the league in the draft, but you can sure as shit lose it.
Yeah.
And so I think it always rings pretty true in terms of like if you draft a real dog shit team. Like I looked at my board a bunch of times at the draft on Sunday, going, "What the fuck am I doing? Like, why did I draft the Broncos defense?"
Yeah,
I could have had multiple Auden Tate awards last year for the guys I drafted.
I will say this year's draft for the League of Assholes draft, definitely a few times when I went up there and I was just like, I don't feel comfortable making this pick, even though in my heart I believe it's somewhat the right pick, but it just doesn't feel like putting Chase Brown up there. I was like, I don't know, man. Like, but you got to go with like, potential and like, who's going to have the bigger ceiling maybe. It depends on where you're at in that point in the draft too.
I mean, a lot of questions that go into it. I think just in general, as we're kind of wrapping this up here, the draft day is always fucking dope. I mean, it's always a great goddamn time, but nothing compares to like now that you have the team football is on and it's time to, now you get the results. You get the fucking, hey, this guy's doing good, this guy's doing shit. And that's the part that I truly love here. We're just about at time here, so let's kind of land the plane here. Anybody got either last quick topic or
Do you want me to tease a movie?
Oh,
for
let's
next
definitely
week?
do the movie.
Tease the movie, and I got one question.
All right, go ahead. Go with the question first.
You
All
go,
right.
yeah.
I want to just go through the divisions real quick. Who do you think is going to run it? Or is that too much of a...
No, I mean, you got to go quick. You got him pulled up.
All right. Well, you guys know the divisions. All right.
Dude.
NFC East, I think.
Miami.
NFC, not AFC.
Oh, you said, I'm sorry.
NFC,
Literally proving my
Dallas.
point.
Okay, never mind. You know what? I withhold the...
No, we're doing
it's
it
fine.
now.
All right,
Bring
fine.
it.
I think Dallas will take it, believe it or
Okay.
not.
Philly.
Okay.
I'm going Philly. NFC
NFC
North. I got it, Bobby.
Yep.
I'm going Detroit is still going to be top dog.
Probably. I want to say Bears in my heart, but I'm not going to. It's
Green
probably
Bay, baby.
Lions.
Green
Probably
Bay.
Lions.
Okay, Bobby says Green Bay.
Got him.
NFC South, I think Tampa Bay, but not.
I'm thinking Tampa, too. There's not... Or,
Probably Tampa. Probably
you know what? I'll go
Tampa.
Atlanta. I'll
Probably
go Atlanta.
Tampa. I'll go Tampa.
I don't believe in Kirk Cousins at all.
No, but I like him. So.
NFC West 49ers are going
49ers, yeah.
Niners.
probably have 15 wins. AFC East.
Miami.
Yeah. I think Miami, too.
I'm gonna think Miami because of what I
Possibly
said
Jets?
before. I'm thinking the Bills could also sneak out just because a New England win or a Jets win
Okay.
might give Buffalo the advantage there. I still think Miami's making it to the playoffs, no doubt. AFC North, I got Cincinnati.
I got Ravens.
Yeah, I'll go Baltimore.
I think Cincinnati's making a huge comeback. Jamar Chase is if
I would
he
like
plays,
Cleveland to do well, but
as long as he plays, Jamar Chase should be fucking good to go.
I'll go Baltimore.
AFC South, Houston.
Houston.
yeah, solid.
AFC West, Kansas City.
Kansas City.
Yeah, a
agreed.
lot of these are,
I think a lot of these are stand up. Yeah,
it's just basically
More like
like
who's going to be the wild card.
No, I mean Ryan said it before. He was like the usual suspects. There's not been really like you can make the argument that the Bears kind of have made a great growth over the offseason, but it's not to the point where you're saying, oh, they're going to dethrone the Lions.
Well, it's like we kind of talked about. It's like more of, I think, like who's going to be the wild card teams, who's going to be that team that you can get in there that you maybe like Houston last year. You didn't expect it, but they made it, or something like that. I don't know, like.
there's some hope and glimmer in some of the divisions.
I got you. All right. So
Movie.
this was the full football extravaganza.
Gotta start off
Next week we're gonna get back to.
We'll do we're doing like a split, like a.
We'll do a half and half. We'll
Yeah.
kind of give a recap of the fantasy picks for the week, some wagers, all that shit, and then the second half we'll do a movie review. Get back to that part of it. So where we left off was my pick for Young Frankenstein,
That was me.
and
Now
it's on
Now it's
you.
me, yeah.
There you go.
Sorry.
I'm leading into you.
My fault. Yes. Now it's me. So I was going to say, if you guys are down, if you want to, it's football season. You guys want to do like football movies? Like you want to
Sure.
like each week pick a football movie?
Say less.
We already did Remember the Titans, so that's off the board, obviously.
Right.
So I'll start us off.
Do it. And
Let's do Friday Night Lights.
Dig it. Okay.
Friday Night Lights, the
movie, obviously.
Pacino.
right, because the other thing was just a series, right?
Yeah, the movie. Well, we
The
can't watch
movie
the whole
with
series.
Billy Bob Thornton.
Yes, the movie from 2004.
Okay.
It's currently streaming on Peacock if you need to watch it. Also, I have an extra.
It's been on
copy.
AMC a bunch. I've already caught like a bunch of it. It's actually
Yeah.
a great choice right now because I'm fucking into
Yeah.
that shit. So we'll do the movie review next week. Back to fantasy football as usual. I will just also throw out a last thing here is the bets here that Ryan and I have made on some football stuff.
Oh, we made one at the golf course yesterday.
And we made one at the golf course yesterday because I'm in this league of like it's a pool where you pick a couple teams and then you get basically the total wins of those. The winner gets like $50 or
Between
something.
the three teams he has, they have to have the most wins out of the three teams.
Oh,
versus
you combine them.
anybody else.
That's a fun bet.
So Ryan was in the cart with me, so I got some advice from him. He believes that Indy will have more wins than Jacksonville on the year. I went with Jacksonville.
I like it.
So we'll see what happens on that one. And I do just want to remind you, Bobby, of the bet that we made previously, which is first to win a fantasy championship since we have started the after your
Yeah, I'm going back to back. But
no,
yeah.
but I'm just saying we made it after you had won.
Yeah,
and you
yeah.
go next one, first two. That is 2 rounds of golf and drink.
That's fine.
So just reminding you, if I end up winning this year,
I'm not concerned.
let's see.
Bobby's got more of a chance. He's got more leagues.
I'm in 3. He's in 3.
Oh, I thought you were in like 5. My bad,
I'm in
dude.
4.
Oh, then you have to tell me which 3 you pick.
I was gonna say I think you got to match up 3-3, right?
Right.
Okay, I'm down.
That would be
We'll go
more
over-
fair to me. I thought you had more than him.
No,
I got 4.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, yeah, I like it. We'll match up. I'll let you know. So there's no tomfoolery
You
here.
have to get rid of one.
But all right, dude. So 50th episode in the books. Fucking fantasy football. I got to rock on.
Lamar's
fucking hard on.
already.
Here's the 50 more.
Here's the 50 more. There you go. All right, for the Journeymen Lounge Podcast, which I believe I mentioned in the beginning, but if I didn't, we'll put it back in. Yo, fucking tune in for a great season. We're going to be doing some fun fucking shit. Woj,
Ryan.
Bobby.
and we're out.